What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it looks like Marvel Studios has finally talked about Jonathan Majors and his character, Victor Timely, / He Who Remains / Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors, the actor who plays Kang the Conqueror from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, He Who Remains from Loki Season 1, and upcoming new variant of Kang the Conqueror, Victor Timely in Loki Season 2, was unfortunately arrested several months ago on some counts of assault. His trial has not yet concluded, but ever since he was arrested, his lawyer came out, his legal team came out, said that he was innocent and was actually the victim in the situation. However, and this is incredibly unfortunate if he does wind up being innocent, he started to lose many jobs. His management team dropped him, his PR team dropped him, he lost some roles for characters he was going to play in certain movies, but we never heard anything from Marvel Studios. They never made a statement about Jonathan Majors, but what they did do is kind of stop talking about Kang. This was during the time where Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was coming out on Disney+. If you looked in the description, it really didn't mention Kang at all. It gave Jonathan Majors credit in the casting list because of course they have to, but in the description, they simply mentioned a villain or a threat. They didn't mention Jonathan Majors by name. They didn't mention Kang by name. They kept him out of it. And they also put off releasing the assembled piece, the making of special that Disney usually releases on Disney Plus that would simply show the making of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. They delayed that. They didn't put that out for a very long time. They delayed it indefinitely. However, a lot of evidence was presented by Jonathan Majors and his team, and ultimately they ended up releasing the assembled piece. And now Loki Season 2 is right around the corner, and Marvel Studios is showing Victor Timely, who of course is played by Jonathan Majors. They show him in the trailer. They show him a lot, actually. Now, he hasn't been in any of the promos for the show. We've only really seen Tom Hiddleston, Ke Huy Quan, and Sophia DiMartino. We don't have the villain. He's been kept out of the promotions for the show, but finally, like I said, Marvel is actually really talking about his character, and they've done that on a pretty decent scale. They've done it in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. And in this interview, they also give us a little bit of information about his character, Victor Timely, and some other characters as well, such as OB, played by Ke Huy Quan. In this EW article, they spoke to Marvel Studios executive producer Kevin Wright, who talked about him in the interview, and it started off by saying this: Season 2 will also find Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius coming up against a new but familiar nemesis, Victor Timely, played by Jonathan Majors, a brilliant industrialist and inventor living in the early 1900s. Like the menacing He Who Remains, who debuted in the first season finale, Timely is a variant of Kang the Conqueror, a dimension-hopping villain who takes many forms. Then Entertainment Weekly goes on to say, Majors' version of Timely will play a major role in Loki Season 2, even as the actor faces off-screen legal troubles. And then Kevin Wright said this: Victor Timely is somebody that we are very, very excited about. When you look at Kang, he has a very funny comic backstory. He has all these iterations. Timely was one that we've always wanted to do in Loki, and I think we're really excited about how that integrates into the season. It's a big part of the show. So this is a Marvel Studios executive producer right here, an executive producer for Loki, stating how big of a part Jonathan Majors' Victor Timely is going to play in Loki Season 2. This is the most we have ever heard, really, from Marvel Studios about Victor Timely, and this is the first time anyone from Marvel Studios has mentioned Jonathan Majors, which is a good sign. They were completely silent before. They simply remained neutral, which is a great stance by them, but they didn't say anything good and they didn't say anything bad. They remained completely quiet, and that was a good stance to take because Majors was claiming he was innocent and was actually the victim of the situation, and nothing had been brought to light yet. A lot of companies fired Majors before any of the evidence that favored him came out. And if you haven't been following, it does seem like Jonathan Majors has some pretty great evidence that is in his favor that could prove that he is indeed innocent. So this is a great sign coming directly from Marvel Studios that they do indeed plan on keeping Jonathan Majors. Of course, it's still going to ultimately be decided by the trial because Marvel Studios will most likely replace him as Kang the Conqueror if he is indeed found guilty during the trial. But for now, it's really, really great news because it actually sounds like they are putting quite a bit of faith in Jonathan Majors' characters. And speaking of characters, we do have new characters in Loki Season 2. And if you are one of those people who loved the tone of Loki season 1 and you love the weirdness about it, then we have good news for you. The article ends by stating, above all, Wright promises that Loki's second season will continue to embrace the weirdness of the first. And then they quote Kevin Wright, and he said, "We made a weird show in season 1 and people responded to how weird it was. So we wanted to push it further." There's a lot more that this article reveals, but first, big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Many of you may know that I personally use HelloFresh and I love it. It makes cooking fun, easy, and it's affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit delivered straight to your door. And you might not know that they actually have seasonal recipes. Right now, since it's summer, they have their new Fresh and Fit summer menu. So if you're trying to get that beach bud, but you're also trying to eat really great tasting food, it's perfect for you. Right now, it's peak time for summer produce, and HelloFresh makes sure you get all the best picks all season long. Their ingredients travel from the farm to your door in less than 7 days for quality you can taste. If you are trying to impress your friends this summer by doing some cooking for them, HelloFresh makes it super simple. They give you all of the ingredients and tell you exactly how to make each meal. And the best part is, right now you can go to hellofresh.com/50cosmic and use code 50cosmic for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. That's hellofresh.com/50cosmic and use code 50cosmic for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. The article continues stating, season 2 premiering on October 6th. However, we know that that is now October 5th on Disney Plus. Finds Loki and Mobius trekking into the deepest bowels of the TVA, seeking help from Quan's quirky repair guy, OB. OB works in the repairs and advanced department, and his office is stuffed in the basement, a sprawling mishmash of gadgets and gizmos. And here's what executive producer Kevin Wright tells EW about what he does. He says, his job, speaking about OB, is basically every piece of tech, every computer, everything that is running at the TVA. He either designed it or he fixes it and keeps it running. Now, this lines up perfectly with what we've heard from some insiders. What we have heard is that OB actually helped He Who Remains, or whatever variant of Kang he was at the time, create the TVA. And in some of the trailers and the TV spots for Loki Season 2, we can actually see Ke Huy Quan's character interacting with the Victor Timely variant. And you might have heard me say this before, but I don't think this is back in time. I think this is present time TVA. I do think Loki and Mobius end up talking to Victor Timely and convince him to go to the TVA, which he probably hasn't invented yet as that variant. So Victor Timely is going to be looking at the time loom, what has been designed by OB and He Who Remains. And it looks like they could be seeking the help of this variant, Victor Timely, to actually help them with the time loom and the sacred timeline and the multiverse in general, which is another great sign for Jonathan Majors. He's going to be very involved. And again, executive producer Kevin Wright said that he's going to play a huge role in this show. He's going to be very important. So it looks like now we can probably pretty confidently say that if Jonathan Majors is proven innocent and if he is indeed the victim in the situation that he's been in over the past few months, he's going to remain with Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios is going to keep him on. He's going to continue to play Kang the Conqueror, Victor Timely, He Who Remains, and any other awesome variant of Kang the Conqueror that we could possibly see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I hope he's innocent. He does seem to have a lot of evidence pointing to that fact that he is innocent. I really hope he didn't assault that woman, and I hope he can continue to play Kang in the MCU. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. It does seem like a good sign. But what do you think? And let me know how excited you are for Loki Season 2. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest MCU news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.